Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Command List Practice Mode. I'm on the road today, complying with all state and federal regulations. Just recording in the car on the way home, so if you hear some traffic, some indicating, or turn signals as you call them over in the States, and some road rage, that's because I'm in the car driving. Right, so today I just wanted to talk about City of the Wolves, of course, the game that's only just come out like a week ago. I got a few days early access and completely didn't realise, but I did cash in a couple of them. It's a pretty good game. It's obviously the first Garou/Fatal Fury game in, 2 decades at least, I think it is. I think it's something like 25 years nearly. It wasn't a super popular title, Mark of the Wolves. I mean, it's not the first Fatal Fury game, but it's often treated like a standalone game in many respects, but it wasn't super popular when it came out. I believe it was ported to the Dreamcast and the PS2, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a bit of a cult hit, actually. There's no lane system in that game, unlike other Fatal Furies. There's a lot of new characters, a lot of hilariously named characters like Kushnu Butt, a lot of derivative characters from, say, with their fighting styles, students of characters from Fatal Fury aside from like Terry. But obviously Terry has Rock. So obviously Rock Howard, the son of Geese Howard. Quite ironic that the guy who helped raise him was the guy who killed his dad. Not deliberately, as you'll see from the intro to City of the Wolves, which is a pretty dope intro to a game, if I'm being honest. It was very entertaining to watch and it got me fired up to play the game. There's been some controversy with the game, obviously, like take the inclusion of Cristiano Ronaldo, the inclusion of Salvatore Ganacci, whoever the fuck that guy is. He's a DJ who's friends with fucking one of the Mohammed bin Salman or whatever his name is that owns part of SNK or the majority shareholder in SNK. So obviously they're mates and he's gone, hey buddy, could I, or he's mates with someone who knows him who's gone, hey, could you put me in Fatal Fury, please? Pretty please. Ronaldo is not obvious because including him in a fighting game, particularly an SNK fighting game, which I don't see having a lot of appeal with wider audiences. It's a niche genre. Maybe it was done to pull people in. I'm not really sure, but obviously he's mega fucking famous. I don't know how famous he is in North America, but I still feel like he's famous enough for most Americans and Canadians to know who he is. But in the rest of the world, particularly Europe and South America, he's super fucking famous. Arguably, not my opinion, but arguably one of the best players ever, right? And there's no denying he is a fantastic player and he's, obviously had a very long career. So Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously the jokes about soccer player being in a fighting game, given that their fighting skills are fucking zero. The only hard, intimidating soccer player I can think of off the top of my head is probably Vinnie Jones. Pretty much everyone else is sort of when you come from a country like Australia or the United States or Canada, where we have very physical sports as our national sports, Australian football, rugby league, Canada has ice hockey, United States have their NFL. I mean, these are all sports that are significantly more physical and there ain't no time for rolling around on the floor, grabbing your leg and waiting for the magic water to come out when you play those sports. So, but anyway, I digress. I thought this would detract from the game a lot more than it has for me. They haven't made them the forefront. They've only given Salvatore a bit of a story mode. There is a side mode called, episodes of South City, I think they're called. It's basically like an RPG-like mode, much like Street Fighter's World Tour. It's got a leveling system. It's skills you can equip, but it's not overly reliant on that. You don't need to get too knowledgeable about it. You do level up and get stronger and unlock things as you go, but it is pretty addictive little mode. The fights are rather easy. If you level up high, you can grind it out pretty well. Sorry, there's just a guy begging for cash at the traffic lights here. So I just got to there we go. Times are tough, everyone. Yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so this RPG type mode is it's pretty fun actually, and I was surprised by it. And it's unique for each character, and they have interactions and sort of like NPCs that come along for the ride, and it's really cool to see that dialogue. It is all in text. They haven't gone over the top, and over the top's the least. When voice acting, when done well, and when they actually put the work in, unlike what Nintendo does or Street Fighter VI's World Tour, given how open worldy and how it was a 3D environment and the characters were there on the screen. And I felt like them not voice acting the whole thing was kind of shit. But, you know, you don't usually play Street Fighter for that sort of thing. So like even MK Deception had I say proper, it was pretty cheesy and not the most well-performed voice lines, but it had voice lines, right? It didn't just have the start of a voice line, then some text that you had to read. So in this mode, you don't have to walk around and stuff. You just take the cursor, go to the next location in South City, and that's it. So I played through with Kane Heinlein, or Kine as they're pronouncing it in this game. There's so much more to explore. I mean, I've been playing it for quite a lot for about the last week. I have not scratched the surface with every character. I've beat it with Kane, and I've beat the arcade mode. Found a pretty good way to beat the arcade mode on the hardest difficulty. I did find the secret boss, and I did beat them, and I will not tell you who it is. Spoilers, the game's just come out, so I'm not going to talk about that too much. It's actually, if you're a big Fatal Fury fan, you'll get a lot of payoff from it. I think you'll really enjoy it. The gameplay, when I did the beta, I thought had too many mechanics. I've heard other people, Matt McMuscles, for example, his YouTube channel, he speaks about there probably being one or two mechanics too much, and I initially agreed with that, but I'm starting to get my head around them all, and I'm not minding it. I don't think it's too crazy. There's a stylish mode, so basically that's like modern controls in Street Fighter. I haven't really been using that too much. I've been going old school. It's a 4-button fighter, of course, so it's well suited to modern controllers. I've been playing it on my stick mostly, on my fight sticks. And it handles just like the old Garou. There's just defenses. There is a rev button and a rev gauge and all that sort of thing. So you can burn out. That's very similar. There is a bit of a drive gauge that you can keep using, and you overheat, and that's when you overheat and you get your guard crush, you get free combo and all that sort of thing to be punished. And you also means you can't use your special block, right? Because there's like a barrier block kind of thing like you see in other fighting games like BlazBlue and Under Night and Birth as well. And you can lower your rev gauge by attacking and by good defense, just defends and that sort of thing. There's a super special moves. There's these rev ones. So when they're just like the original Garou, Mark of the Wolves, there's like an SPG, which is like a power gauge. I'm trying to think what it stands for. I've forgotten anyway, but it's like you've got 3 segments of your health bar you can choose to apply it to. You can come out hard. It's got this like guard crush like move that gives you invincibility frames and can, sort of set you up for a combo that you can use, but it will increase your rev gauge and you can burn out if you abuse it too much. And that's only active when you've got SPG. If you've got SPG and you've got full meter, 2 bars a meter, you can do this super combo that's extremely powerful, does a lot of damage, excuse me, and it's, pretty standard stuff. There is dodges. That's one of the mechanics. I thought, well, there's a high and a low dodge, so you've got to practice that and basically get used to matchups and reads and stuff like that. I thought having 2 dodges was kind of weird at first and just unnecessary, but actually starting to get the hang of it and like it. Just familiarity, really. And so my initial impressions of the games are quite positive. I did play online during the beta. I didn't play online much. Well, did I play online at all? No, I didn't play online any ranked matches this last week. I've just been getting my head around the other mechanics and learning characters and stuff. So I've been using Kane and Rock Howard, a little bit of Terry, a little bit of Mai, and a little bit of Billy Kane. Yeah, and the music's great, the presentation's great. The art style, I could take a leap. I mean, I prefer the King of Fighters 13 type of pixel art, but it does look really good and it grows on you. And the music's fantastic. There's a jukebox. I got the special edition as well, and I got 2 CDs with all the soundtrack from the game, which is pretty cool. You don't see that much anymore. What else did it come with? It come with an art book and stuff. So if you're into that kind of thing, or for me, it's just every now and then with a franchise I like, I'll go that extra and buy one of the collector's editions. This has been a pretty solid one so far. You get quite a lot of stuff. It's not super expensive. I think it was like $120. Yeah, so I definitely recommend playing this game. What else is there really to say at the moment? Like I said, I haven't given it a full every mode. I am intending to get the platinum / 100% on it. So that's why I went through the arcade mode on the hardest difficulty. And boy, howdy was it difficult. But there's cheeses and stuff you can use. Billy Kane's got some good combos you can kind of cheese the AI with. The higher level AIs are susceptible to a throw loop, just like in Guilty Gear Strive. Although that's easier said than done because you have to get them into a corner to do the throw loop. And also you have to get them there before they combo the fuck out of you and kill you. Yeah, but I did the survival mode, and the survival mode was brutal. To get that trophy, you got to do survive 100 matches in a row. They're single round matches. Your health tops up a little bit after each win, but I found I got through 40 fights and it started. I just couldn't go further yet. So I can see them maybe toning this down because I think I don't know if anyone's got it yet, but yeah, it's pretty gnarly, and the difficulty on that's quite hard. There's a fun mini game where it's kind of like the Ghost of Tsushima, where you have the sword and you cut through the straw targets. So you have to basically input a button combination, except you don't get multiple attempts, and you do have quite a bit of time to input it. So yeah, you don't have to sort of panic. I found it pretty fun. So I did 100 bottles. I got that achievement done. But that's kind of a fun little mode, and that's got Marco Rodriguez / Kushnu Butt as the host of that. So that's pretty cool. The characters themselves have a lot of personality. There's a good roster. It's a rather big roster considering. I think it's close to about 20 characters or something like that. And it's going to get bigger. Obviously, Ken and Chun-Li are going to come in season 1. That's pretty cool. As long as they don't put any more fucking stupid characters like Cristiano Ronaldo and Salvatore Ganacci in, then I'm cool. But again, this is going to mar this game a little bit. It was unnecessary, and I don't really know in the long term how successful that's going to be to attract new players or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, the kids and stuff that play FIFA, Rocket League, and that's kind of what they're into. There's a very small select group that will enjoy a fighting game, and I think they'll come into this and just be overwhelmed by it and not really want to. I don't think it will stick. I don't think it will hook the younger generation who aren't already playing fighting games in, but I could be wrong. And obviously that's their tactic for this game. Yeah, so, and there's humor in this game. It's actually, when you're fighting all these sort of grunts, these like jobber type fucking characters in the RPG type mode in episodes of South City, there's one guy where you knock him down and he goes, "That hurt, asshat." And there's little things like that are funny. The character dialogues are pretty good, and yeah, there's some nice Easter eggs and surprises in this game, let me tell you. So yeah, it's very much living up to the hype for the most part. It is early days, and I have said this about games in the past, and many people have. They go, "Oh, it's awesome." Tekken 8 initially I found very impressive, but look where that is now. And look at MK1. Everyone thought that was really fun at first too, but it got a lot of criticism after that. So, yeah, all in all, pretty happy so far. Going to play way more of it. Don't you worry about that. And I'm going to talk about it more in future episodes. I'm going to wrap it up there, I think. So, again, this is on the road, so apologies for any background noise, but I wanted to give this a go and see how we went on the way home. Again, complying with all state and federal traffic regulations. And, yeah, don't forget, we have a Patreon. It would mean so much to us if you got on and donated. It's just $1 recurring donation per month. It's not very much. It's much appreciated. Otherwise, just give us 5 stars, share us, review us. If you don't think we deserve 5 stars, okay, fine. If you don't have anything nice to say, maybe don't say anything at all. But if you do, if you really want to send us some hate mail, might even get read out in the show, at commandlist@gmail.com. So once again, thanks for listening. Another short and sweet practice mode, and I hopefully will see you and many more people in the next one. Don't smash your controllers.
Honestly, I figured any student of Joe's would be obnoxious. But look how adorable you are!